Now, in the summertime, as you know, things are really growing, really getting green, really getting busy out here in the hills and in the valleys. And I like that because as the grass grows up, it makes homes for all sorts of interesting little creatures. And if I can go out into the tall grass and just spend a little time looking down there at root level, I can find all kinds of interesting things. So one day, I went out into the tall grass. And I went bending the blades of grass back, crawling on my belly, looking to see what I might find down there in the meadow. And I saw the ants go marching two by two, hurrah. I saw the ants go by. I saw a little roly-poly. I saw a grasshopper. I saw an earthworm. And then, right before me, munching on a little leaf, I saw the cutest little caterpillar. There he was. Now, you got to be gentle with the little creatures. Never try to pinch him with your thumb and forefinger to pick him up, because you'll smush him that way, see? So what you got to do is you got to just put your hand out there and just let him crawl up on it. That little caterpillar crawled up onto my hand. He seemed to like me. I liked him. So I brought him home. Now, I was a boy at the time, and I really wanted this little pet. I wanted a friend. You know, we all need friends. So my mom got a jar, one of those mayonnaise jars, cleaned it all out, put it right down there, and we put that little caterpillar in the jar. But she showed me, of course, you know, I like to have lunch, and as I was eating, she said, you know, your caterpillar's going to be hungry too. I mean, when you saw him, he was munching on a leaf. He's going to need to eat. He didn't want my peanut butter and jelly, though. So she said, well, what was he eating on? I said, well, it was one of those green leaves out there. Well, go get some more. So I went out into the meadow, and I brought some scissors, and I clipped some leaves, and I dropped them down inside the jar for the caterpillar to eat. Now, you put a munching caterpillar in a glass jar, and it resonates. I could hear him going, oh. Then I knew he was really hungry, so I went out and I got some more leaves for him to eat. Oh, yeah, I couldn't stop. Just giving him wonderful little green bits to eat. He seemed to love all that good food and was so hungry all the time. But I went there and the sound stopped coming. There was no crunch, crunch sound. He wasn't moving. And I was afraid maybe he was dead. And I hadn't been good enough to him. But my mom said, no, he's sleeping. And it was true. He was all wrapped up in a whitish kind of blanket. You know about that. It was a cocoon. She said, he's going to turn into a butterfly with big, beautiful wings, and he's going to be able to fly away. Well, I didn't want him to fly away. Nobody wants to lose a friend, especially once you've just made one. But I knew I couldn't keep a butterfly in a jar. That wouldn't be nice. That wouldn't be fair. So we had a plan. We would plant a garden, because we knew butterflies liked flowers. So while my caterpillar was sleeping and working on his task of growing, I went out into the garden and I planted a couple of seeds. And I watered them and I tried to help them grow. And sure enough, over time, up from the ground came green sprouts. And out from those sprouts came a green stem. And up from those stems came green leaves. And sure enough, after a time, the flowers began to bloom. Oh, there they were, my pretty blooming flowers. Now here's an interesting thing. It's interesting how timing works in the natural world. In our lives, we're part of it too. In the time it took for those seeds to take root and those flowers to grow and then to open up and bloom was the same amount of time it took for that caterpillar to dream, to grow, and to change until indeed he had become a beautiful butterfly. And you know, where there's one butterfly, pretty soon, whoops, there's going to be two butterflies. And I suppose if we understand that we can have friends and be good friends and take care of our friends, it won't be long before we get more friends too. Thank you for being friends with us today. If you'd like a caterpillar to take away home with you, come and meet me in the lobby. And I've got some crayons and some more butterflies, and you can fly away home with a friend. Thanks again for coming to the Family Class.